Take a moment to find your comfortable posture. Begin to allow just our fun play of words to kind of continue to settle and fade out of the mind. It's interesting about that, or whatever you're coming from, even if there's something before this, you can feel these currents. Could be thoughts, it could even be emotions. Sometimes we're coming from work and we're bringing the work into our home, or things that we couldn't have said, should have said, wish we had said. Every time we have these sort of social things and we gather energy or withhold energy, when I look at nature, that I don't see they have this kind of problem. The breeze blows and the trees react to it. Animals, they have their issues and then they happen. You don't see the squirrels wondering about that other squirrel. Oh, next time that squirrel tries to take my acorn, I'm going to really let them have it. No, that doesn't happen. But we're not like that. Part of our, I guess, our evolution, we know how to linger and dwell, don't we? And there's all kinds of ways to release that energy that's lingering and dwelling. But meditation is, you just allow it to slowly unwind. Most people don't like that feeling. That's why most people don't meditate. But if you can learn to just let it continue to tumble through your consciousness, it doesn't matter. It's not your problem. Even if you were the one making the problem and now you're giving yourself a hard time about it. If you can realize it's not my problem, it doesn't matter. It will tumble and it'll keep tumbling for a little while. It's going to keep trying to say, are you sure it's not your problem? Let's be your problem again. It loves doing that. But it will tumble and tumble. And eventually it just fades. But if you grab, I want to say it this way next time. I want to do it different. You grab the tumbleweed as it rises up. Now it never goes away. So this is why most people don't like to meditate, because they have to deal with the tumbling of their thoughts. If you stick with your meditation, not only are you with the stuff that came up today, or stuff that's going to happen tomorrow, yesterday, that kind of, you get into the tumbles, they churn, they don't tumble. It's like stuff from like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. It's like bubbling muck. It's not even like a turning tumbleweed. But you start to feel that even as well. Now you really don't want to meditate when you have to deal with that churning. So we've got this deep churning that happens, stuff that was very significant, maybe painful and difficult. You've got the more superficial, more recent, current, just weird general stuff in your day-to-day. Gosh, who would want to have to sit still to listen to all that stuff? Who wants to deal with that? I do. Because if you can learn to just listen to it and let it tumble, listen to it. Don't interact with it. Don't participate. You'll start to hear something else. You hear something beyond the tumbling, beyond the churning of the muck, even deeper. And you're like, I don't want to go deeper. I'd rather go back to the tumbles. No. You listen to the day-to-day tumbling of your thoughts. You listen to the muck, some of those regrets, perhaps, pains of your past. And underneath that is like a diamond was manufactured or something somehow. Something very pure, very still, very clean, very free. And if you can listen to that, you can recognize that, you'll put up with any kind of tumbling or churning. See, it's the folks who never really realize there's this free, quiet, empty, still space always available to you. They're the ones who don't meditate because they stay still for a second and all they hear is the tumbling and the churning. And so they move and shake their bodies about, go about their day, hoping to find a rhythm with their tumbles. Maybe it's working for them, I don't know. You're trying to realize you just let it tumble, let it churn. Don't act, don't grab it, don't fixate on it. If you want to listen to it, sure. But I wouldn't even bother listening to it until you can also listen to the free, quiet, empty, pristine sound of that diamond. Until you resonate with the perfection of yourself. And the perfection of yourself cannot be tarnished. It cannot be harmed or burnt, chipped, lost from the churning. This may take a little bit of trust on your end, a little bit of faith. But as you sit here, you have that faith in yourself. I've witnessed it. I've known it. I think you've all known it to some extent at this point. Now you got to double down. It's always here. You see, most people, they experience it when the tumbling and the churning temporarily are quiet. It's very obvious then when the tumbling and the churning of the mind is quiet. That pristine beingness is very obvious. You almost get addicted to that feeling. And I think it's important to have some experiences with that undisturbed, empty quiet, no churning, no tumbling. You have one of those experiences, you don't forget it. But then you have to draw. You have to draw knowledge from that experience. This is better than trusting a teacher. If you draw knowledge from your own experience, you can say, oh, maybe that blissful, quiet, empty, free space is still here, even amongst the tumbling and the churning. Somehow you have to find that energy, that willingness to discover, willingness to investigate. How can you investigate this? You have to try the practice. Sit here, don't move. Tumbling is moving, the tumbling thoughts, the churning emotions, memories, but they're not you. Let them move. Let them move on. You have that freedom to let them move on. You have the freedom to cling to them too. So now you'll work with the phrase. Two options. One can be an instruction to yourself. Let the churning, let the tumbling move on. Second one is a reminder. Right? First one's an instruction to yourself. Let the tumbling move on. Tumbling of your thoughts. Second one is a reminder. I have the freedom to let my thoughts move on. You choose. What's more helpful? The instruction? Let the churning thoughts move on. Or the reminder. I have the freedom to let the thoughts move on. You don't have to wish for it, hope, pray. Just be willing. Just be willing for the thoughts to move on, the churning, the tumbling. You'll find yourself in a vast, empty, quiet space. It just takes the willingness to not grasp, to not identify, to not strive or cling. You'll slip into this very delicate space. It's a very wonderful space, alluring, but your work is not done. There you have to discern. It's always here. So, working with the instruction, let the thoughts move on, or the reminder, I have the freedom for my thoughts to move on. And so you find that great chasm of space beyond your thoughts. Remind yourself, this is always here. The thoughts are coming and going. What's always here? Try that. Inhale, and as you exhale, the thoughts are coming and going. Inhale, what is always here? On the inhale, you try to experience your prompt. On the exhale, the thoughts are coming and going. Inhale, you let them move on. And on the exhale, what is always here? And on the inhale, try to find, understand, experience it. What is always here? thoughts are coming and going. What is always here? Be willing to slip into that space. Not eager, not hopeful, willing. How to be willing? No longer distracted by the tumbling and churning of your thoughts and emotions. Just let them move on. Be willing, unafraid of what's beyond all that talking, all that nagging in your head. Not eager, not hopeful or wishful, just willing. willing to go beyond all that tumbling and churning. Let the tumbling and churning move on. Discover what does not move. You know you've got it, and everything is at peace. And then the thoughts, the tumbling, even the churning will come back, and they'll fade in and out. But that peace doesn't go away. And so you also must be willing for the thoughts to come and go. Otherwise, how will you know if you found what's always here? It's here, with thought and without thought. Discover it. Realize what is always here. if you get caught in a tumble, understand it's because you were grasping, clinging to something. It's the only reason you get caught in a tumble or a churning. Be willing to let them move on. Just slip through your fingers. You don't have to push it away. Just let the breeze take it away. I am not the thoughts that come and go. I am that which is always here. Now we work with negation and affirmation. Negation. I am not the thoughts that come and go. Affirmation. I am that which is always here. You know what I mean when I say thoughts coming and going. Do you know what I mean by that which is always here? Inhale. Exhale. I am not the thoughts that come and go. Inhale. Exhale. I am that which is always here. Relax your body. Adjust your experience. You can sign up from the call to stay in your practice. Otherwise, I'll pause the recording and we will do questions.